Mark Hale for the New York Post here from Post headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. We've got Brian Costello, our Jets beat writer, here as we check in on the Jets after they've played their first game of the season and are gearing up for Game 2 against the Jaguars on Sunday afternoon at MetLife Stadium. And Brian, we just saw the Jets pull out a crazy 27-24 win over the Cowboys on Sunday night. They're getting ready for the Jags on Sunday. What's the big thing now that you want to see out of them?
I'm curious to see the defense. It was a very uncharacteristic performance Sunday night, giving up 390 yards to the Cowboys, 342 yards passing to Tony Romo. But that being said, the Cowboys have a lot of talent on offense with Dez Bryant, Miles Austin, Romo, Jason Witten, Felix Jones. So maybe it's a credit to the Cowboys offense, and that's what's tricky with Week 1 is you don't know exactly how good the team is that you're watching, and maybe the Cowboys will be very good this year. The Jaguars don't have the same firepower on offense, so this should be a vintage Jets performance.
And Brian, you talk about vintage Jets performance. I mean, they're kind of known now for their defense and their running game, but the running game was not great either on Sunday night against Dallas, especially Sean Green. I mean, is that a concern for you, Sean Green, and the Jet running game as you head into the Jacksonville game?
I wouldn't call it a concern yet. I mean, one game you can't overreact to. They only ran the ball 16 times. They kind of abandoned it pretty early in the game because the Cowboys were bringing a lot of pressure, a lot of blitzes that were blowing up the run game, and they were playing from behind. They were down 10-0 in the second quarter. So most of the game they were playing from behind. They were throwing a lot. The Jaguars held the Titans to 43 yards last week, and Chris Johnson, I think, had 24 yards. So I wouldn't expect the running game to blow up this week. That's going to be difficult to do against this Jaguars defense, I think, but I think you'll see a little more balance than you saw last week. 44 passes to 16 to rushes. I don't think you'll see that again.
We're talking with Brian Costello, our Jets beat writer here. And Brian, one of the interesting things that you wrote about in your notebook in yesterday's post was about Antonio Cromartie and how he's not only going to get kick return opportunities for this team, but also he was in on offense for a play on Sunday night. Are they Jets making a conscious effort to try to get Cromartie the ball more and see if he can make some plays?
It's hard to tell because these are things that they are not being too forthright about, but they love Cromartie's athleticism. They have since he got here. He's extremely athletic. He's got a freakish body with those long arms. He's very quick. And I think this is a way to play off of that. They showed him on Sunday as a decoy on offense. He just lined up as a receiver and came around on a fake reverse. I think you'll see that a few more times, and then maybe he'll actually get the reverse at some point this year. Maybe, and he was talking about yesterday, he wants to be a vertical threat, kind of joking around. The kickoffs is much more interesting, I think. They used him spot duty last year for Brad Smith. He had the big return against Indianapolis. He had a big return in the preseason. His one preseason kickoff return against the Giants, he had a good return on that one. The thought going in was that Jeremy Curley, the rookie, was going to be the kick returner, and they'd use Cromartie, as kind of a secret weapon. They'd break him out when they needed a boost, but he returned 3 kicks Sunday night, so it looks like he's going to be the primary guy this year.
Lastly, I want to get to your story that was in today's paper, Brian, about we're always talking about Jets, Patriots, and the Patriots obviously on Monday night put up 38 points, Tom Brady throwing for over 500 yards. And one of the interesting things was, against the Cowboys on Sunday night, the Jets really had trouble controlling Jason Witten, Dallas's tight end. New England now has 2 exceptional tight ends in Gronkowski and Hernandez. You in your story today, you talk about the Patriots and what you saw out of them in Monday night's game.
Yeah, I think the Jets have to be very worried about what they saw Monday night. Rex Ryan came into this year saying he wanted other teams in the NFL to step up and beat the Patriots, and it doesn't look like many teams are going to be able to do that from what they saw Monday night. And the problems that the Cowboys presented to the Jets on Sunday, the firepower that we talked about, a lot of teams don't have that. The Patriots do, though. The Patriots have the 2 tight ends. They had 13 catches combined Monday night. They have Wes Welker, who's always a thorn in the Jets' side, and they have Brady, who's better than Romo and won't fumble the ball in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. He's going to make a good decision. So I think the Jets have to be a little worried about winning this division, which is their stated goal. They want to get a home playoff game. That is not going to be easy.
All right, thanks to Brian. As always, great analysis from him. And make sure that you tweet your questions on the Jets to me at HaleMark. And the next time we have Brian on, we'll try to have him answer those questions for you. In the meantime, you can follow Brian on Twitter at Brian Cos. For the New York Post, I'm Mark Hale.